Picture a guy who launched an electric car into space, built rockets to fly to Mars, and created the biggest automotive revolution in the last 100 years. Now imagine that same guy getting caught red-handed driving a 70-year-old gas-guzzling dinosaur. And that's just the beginning of the story about how this tech genius actually collects cars. What we discovered in Elon Musk's garage made us completely rethink everything we thought we knew about this man. Ready for a surprise? Please subscribe and hit that like button. It really helps us grow the channel. When the world thinks about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, white lab coats, and humanity's future among the stars come to mind. But reality turned out to be way stranger and more fascinating. Behind the walls of his private garages lies a collection that would make even the pickiest classic car collectors hold their breath. The story of Elon Musk's car collection doesn't start with Tesla, as you might think, but with a car that became the symbol of his first big success. When PayPal was sold to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002, 29-year-old Musk got $165 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Most people would buy a house, a yacht, or invest in real estate. Elon bought a McLaren F1. Not just any McLaren F1, but one of the rarest supercars of all time. This car cost him $1 million, but the real value was something else entirely. The F1 could accelerate to 340 kilometers per hour, and its central driver's seat position made every drive feel like piloting a spaceship. For a young entrepreneur who dreamed about space, this was the perfect car. The F1's technical specs were revolutionary for its time. The 6-liter BMW V12 engine put out 627 horsepower, while the car weighed only 1,138 kilograms thanks to carbon composite construction. The McLaren F1 wasn't just fast, it was the embodiment of engineering perfection that inspired Musk for his own technological achievements. But the fate of the McLaren F1 became a warning for all of Musk's future purchases. A year after buying it, he crashed it during a careless drive with Peter Thiel. The car went airborne, flipped several times, and eventually turned into a pile of expensive scrap metal. Interestingly, Musk hadn't insured the car, considering it a waste of money. The next stop in Musk's automotive odyssey was a 1967 Jaguar E-Type. Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car ever made, and Musk saw in it the embodiment of perfect harmony between design and engineering. He bought this car not for speed or prestige, but for pure beauty. The E-Type combined aggressive elegance of British design school with technical solutions that were ahead of their time. Its long hood, flowing body lines, and distinctive headlights created visual poetry that inspired young Musk for his own design experiments. Every curve of this car was mathematically precise, which resonated with the engineering mindset of the future Tesla founder. Musk often spent hours just looking at his E-Type from different lighting angles. He studied how light played on its surfaces, how shadows emphasized the muscular contours of the body. Later, elements of this car could be seen in the shapes of the first Tesla Roadster, the same attention to aerodynamic lines, the same balance between aggression and elegance. A special place in Musk's heart was occupied by the sound of the E-Type's engine. The 6-cylinder motor produced a deep, almost musical roar that Musk compared to operatic singing. This sound became his standard for how power should sound. Later, when developing the sound system for Tesla, he tried to create an electric analog of this mechanical symphony. But the real turning point was a purchase that seemed crazy even for Musk. In 2013, he bought the Lotus Esprit from the James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me for $946,000. This wasn't just any Lotus. This was the car that transformed into a submarine in the movie. The story of this purchase began with Musk's childhood memories. As a 10-year-old boy, he watched the Bond movie and was mesmerized by the idea of an amphibious car. When 30 years later he had the chance to buy the actual movie prop, he didn't hesitate for a second. This wasn't just a purchase, it was the fulfillment of a childhood dream. Musk became obsessed with the idea of making this trick real. He publicly announced that he planned to install a Tesla Moon DOS electric motor and underwater control system on the car. The project involved sealing the body, installing oxygen equipment, and creating an electrical system capable of working underwater. Although the project was never completed due to technical difficulties and regulatory restrictions, the very fact of its existence showed how far Musk was willing to go to fulfill his fantasies. Tesla engineers spent months developing theoretical schemes for an underwater version of an electric car, and this experience later helped when creating waterproof battery packs. Over time, Musk's garage filled with increasingly exotic specimens. One of the strangest purchases was a 1920 Ford Model T, the car that forms the foundation of mass automobile manufacturing. Musk didn't just buy it as a historical exhibit. He wanted to understand how Henry Ford thought about the future of transportation a century ago. The Model T was revolutionary for its time, just like Tesla is today. Ford made cars accessible to ordinary people, standardized production, and created a new economic model. Musk spent hours studying every detail of his Model T, trying to understand the philosophy of its creator. He was especially fascinated by the simplicity of construction. The Model T had only 20,000 parts, while modern cars contain over 30,000 components. This simplicity wasn't primitiveness. It was elegance in solving complex technical problems with minimal means. The Model T became a kind of time machine for Musk. Sitting behind its wheel, he imagined himself in Ford's place, who in his time revolutionized transportation just as Musk is now doing with electric cars. This car reminded him that every great change begins with one bold idea and the willingness to challenge the status quo. Interestingly, Musk regularly drives his Model T through the streets of Silicon Valley, surprising passers-by. For him, this isn't nostalgia, but a reminder that true innovations combine respect for the past with a vision of the future. Of course, you can't talk about Musk's car collection without mentioning the Tesla Roadster. But we're not talking about the one flying in space, but about the very first prototype that Musk keeps in his personal garage. This car never made it to mass production. It exists as a single copy and represents the original vision of what electric cars should be. The Roadster prototype looks like a regular production model, but under the hood hides a completely different story. Its battery was hand-assembled in a garage, the software was written during sleepless nights of development, and every detail was the result of endless experiments. This car contains solutions that never made it to mass production due to their complexity or cost. For example, the prototype's regenerative braking system was tuned so aggressively that the car could drive using only the gas pedal. The battery cooling system used liquid nitrogen, which provided incredible performance but was absolutely impractical for mass use. For Musk, this car isn't just the first Tesla, but a symbol that the impossible can become reality. Every time he gets behind the wheel of this prototype, he remembers those times when the whole world laughed at the idea of electric cars and investors refused to fund the crazy project. But the biggest surprise in Musk's collection is a 1975 Porsche 911 Turbo. He bought this car not for himself, but as a gift for his own father. When Elon Musk refused to accept the gift, Elon kept the car for himself, and it became one of his most precious automobiles, not because of its price, but because of its emotional value. The 1975 911 Turbo was one of the first production cars with turbocharging, making it revolutionary for its time. This Porsche could accelerate to 260 kilometers per hour, which was incredible speed for the mid-70s. Its characteristic whale tail and wide fenders made it recognizable at first glance. The 911 Turbo symbolizes Musk's complicated relationship with family and his desire to share success with those dear to him. Every time he gets behind the wheel of this car, he remembers the importance of family and that even the greatest successes mean less without people to share them with. The story with this Porsche also shows another side of Musk's character: his vulnerability and need for approval from loved ones. Despite all his achievements, he still craves recognition from his father, and this car became a symbol of this internal struggle. Among all of Musk's cars, the Tesla Model Plaid holds a special place, a model that many consider the fastest sedan in the world. This car can accelerate to 100 kilometers per hour in 2 seconds, which is faster than most supercars. But Musk uses it not to demonstrate Tesla's technological superiority, but as personal transportation for daily trips. The Plaid became proof that electric cars can not only compete with gasoline cars, but significantly surpass them. 3 electric motors produce a combined 1,020 horsepower, providing incredible acceleration dynamics. The cooling system was borrowed from SpaceX's space program, allowing peak power to be maintained for extended periods. Musk regularly posts videos where his Plaid overtakes expensive sports cars on the track, demonstrating the advantages of electric drive. Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, they all fall behind when the Tesla Plaid hits the gas pedal. For him, This isn't just personal pleasure, but a way to convince the world of the future of electric transportation. Another iconic car in the collection became an Audi R8, which Musk purchased during the period when Tesla was experiencing the most difficult times of Model 3 production. This car became his way to relax and distract from the stress of managing the company. The R8 reminded him that cars aren't just business, but also a source of joy. The 10-cylinder V10 engine produced 610 horsepower, providing incredible driving sensations. The Quattro all-wheel drive system made the car stable even at the limit of possibilities, while the carbon frame provided perfect balance between rigidity and weight. Driving the R8 through Silicon Valley streets helped Musk clear his thoughts and find new solutions for Tesla's production problems. He often said that the best ideas came to him precisely behind the wheel, when his brain disconnected from problems and started thinking creatively. The roar of the V10 engine created a kind of meditative atmosphere where innovative solutions were born. Among classic cars, a special place in Musk's heart is occupied by a 1978 BMW 320i. He bought this car not for its historical value, but because it was the first car he personally repaired as a teenager. Working on this, BMW taught him to understand car mechanics and laid the foundation for his future understanding of automotive engineering. 16-year-old Elon bought this BMW with his own saved money, in a condition that could be described as a pile of scrap metal. The engine wouldn't start, the transmission was broken, and the body was covered in rust. But young Musk saw potential in this car and spent whole months restoring it to working condition. Every time Musk opens the hood of his BMW 320i, he returns to his youth, when the future seemed limitless and every nut and bolt was a mystery that needed to be solved. This car reminds him that true understanding of technology comes only through practical work with your own hands. Restoring this BMW became Musk's first serious engineering task. He learned to read electrical diagrams, understand the principles of internal combustion engine operation, and feel metal under his hands. These skills later became the foundation for his understanding of production processes at Tesla. But Musk's strangest purchase was a Caterpillar 797F haul truck, a gigantic cargo vehicle used in the mining industry. This monster weighing over 300 tons seems absolutely inappropriate for the image of a tech guru, but for Musk it symbolizes the future of electric transportation in space. The 20-liter diesel engine produces 4,000 horsepower, and the payload capacity is 370 tons. The wheels of this giant are 4 meters tall, and the cab is located 6 meters above the ground. For an ordinary person, this is just industrial equipment. But Musk sees in this vehicle a prototype of future Martian transport vehicles. Musk plans to create an electric version of a similar cargo vehicle for his space projects on Mars. Conditions on the Red Planet require equipment capable of transporting huge loads over uneven terrain and operating in extreme conditions. The haul truck in his garage isn't just a curiosity, but a source of inspiration for developing transport vehicles for other planets. Every detail of this giant is studied by Musk's engineers for creating Martian transportation technologies. The suspension system that allows the machine to move over the most difficult terrain can be adapted for Martian conditions. The powerful transmission capable of working under extreme loads is critically important for space missions. The biggest secret of Musk's collection remains a Cybertruck prototype standing in his personal garage. This vehicle is radically different from the production version that appeared on the market. The secret prototype has features that even Tesla engineers consider too futuristic for the modern world. Rumors say this Cybertruck is equipped with experimental technologies, including 6-level autopilot that can independently control the vehicle in any conditions, even without road markings. The battery system with experimental 4680 cells allows the vehicle to operate autonomously for more than 1,500 kilometers on a single charge. But the most impressive feature is the artificial intelligence system integrated into all vehicle systems. This Cybertruck can learn from driving experience, adapt to individual driving styles, and even predict passenger needs. Musk uses this vehicle as a mobile office where he can work, conduct video conferences, and manage his companies. Musk keeps these technologies secret, waiting for the right moment to reveal them. The secret Cybertruck became a symbol of how far Musk sees the future of the automotive industry. This vehicle isn't just transportation, that's a mobile home, workplace, and control center for all aspects of digital life. Special mention deserves the Ferrari 488 GTB, which Musk purchased after a particularly successful Tesla sales quarter. This car became his reward for achieving ambitious goals and a symbol that even the boldest dreams can become reality. The 488 GTB reminds him of the importance of celebrating successes and enjoying the results of hard work. The twin-turbo V8 engine with 4-liter displacement produces 670 horsepower, providing acceleration to 100 in 3 seconds. But for Musk, the numbers aren't the only important thing. Ferrari represents the Italian approach to automotive design, where emotions prevail over cold logic. Driving the Ferrari along the California coast became Musk's ritual for celebrating every major achievement of Tesla or SpaceX. The sound of the V8 engine, speed, and adrenaline help him feel the taste of victory and recharge with energy for the next challenges. This car reminds him that even in the world of high technology, it's important to preserve human emotions and passion. Musk's garage also contains several cars that he bought exclusively for engineering research. Among them is a 1960 Volkswagen Beetle, which he completely disassembled and reassembled to understand the principles of simple and reliable construction. This experience helped him simplify Tesla's design and make electric cars more accessible for mass production. The Beetle was genius in its simplicity. Air cooling of the engine eliminated the need for a radiator and cooling pump. Independent suspension provided comfort and reliability. Every detail was designed for maximum efficiency and minimum production cost. The Beetle taught Musk to value simplicity and complexity. Instead of complicating technologies, he learned to find elegant solutions that make Tesla products simultaneously revolutionary and understandable to ordinary users. The philosophy of making complex things simple became the foundation of Tesla's design philosophy. By disassembling and assembling the Beetle, Musk also understood the importance of modular construction. Every system of the car was designed as a separate module that could be easily replaced or upgraded. This principle was later used in Tesla's architecture, where battery packs, engines, and control systems are designed as interchangeable modules. In the most remote corner of Musk's garage stands a car that almost no one knows about, a Tesla semi-prototype with a hydrogen engine. This experimental truck combines electric technologies with hydrogen fuel cells, creating a hybrid system with incredible range. The project was developed secretly for 3 years, but never left the garage due to technical complexities. The hydrogen semi can travel over 2,000 kilometers without refueling, making it ideal for intercontinental transportation. But the system for producing and storing hydrogen turned out to be too complex and expensive for commercial use. Musk keeps this prototype as a reminder that even the best ideas need the right time for implementation. One of the most interesting projects in the collection is an electrified 1952 Porsche 356. Musk personally supervised the process of installing modern electric transmission in the classic body while preserving all the authenticity of the exterior appearance. This car demonstrates how you can combine respect for automotive heritage with environmental responsibility. The electric 356 accelerates more quietly than the original, but the acceleration dynamics exceed all expectations. The lithium-ion battery is placed in the floor, improving handling and stability. Regenerative braking is adapted to the classic system, preserving authentic driving sensations. This project became a test bench for retrofit technologies that Tesla plans to offer to owners of classic cars. The idea is to give second life to automotive masterpieces of the past by equipping them with modern environmental technologies. In a special compartment of the garage is stored a Tesla Roadster identical to the one flying in space. This earthbound twin is used for testing space technologies in terrestrial conditions. The car is equipped with radiation protection systems, micrometeorite shielding, and atmosphere-resistant materials. Musk regularly tests this car in the most extreme conditions, from the Nevada desert to Alaska's glaciers, simulating space temperatures and radiation. This experience helps SpaceX engineers develop transport vehicles for future missions to Mars and the Moon. The Space Roadster also contains an experimental autonomous navigation system capable of orienting by stars. This technology could become critically important for transportation on planets without GPS satellites. Musk also collects cars that he plans to pass on to his children. Among them is a rare 1970 Lamborghini Miura, which he bought as an investment in the family's future. This car is considered one of the most beautiful supercars in history, and its value constantly grows. The Miura became the first mid-engine production supercar, setting standards for the entire industry. Its 12-cylinder engine, positioned transversely behind the driver's seats, created perfect weight balance and incredible dynamic characteristics. For Musk, this car symbolizes the importance of leaving a legacy for future generations. He wants his children to understand the beauty of mechanical perfection and appreciate the engineering achievements of the past, even when they live in a world of fully autonomous electric cars. Musk doesn't plan to stop at what he's achieved. According to insider information, he's already negotiating the purchase of one of the first steam-powered cars, a rare 1906 Stanley Steamer. This car would symbolize the beginning of the alternative fuel era, which perfectly fits Tesla's philosophy. Also in the plans is the acquisition of a General Motors EV1 prototype, an electric car that was 20 years ahead of its time. GM destroyed almost all EV1 specimens, but several cars survived in private collections. For Musk, this car would become a symbol of missed opportunities in the automotive industry. The secret we promised to reveal at the beginning turned out to be simpler and deeper at the same time. Elon Musk isn't just a tech genius who accidentally became interested in cars. He's a true car enthusiast, for whom every car is a living organism with its own soul and history. His electric cars weren't born from hatred of gasoline engines, but from love for all types of transportation and the desire to make them better. Musk's garage isn't just a place for storing expensive toys. It's a laboratory of ideas, where every car serves as a source of inspiration for the next innovations. When he works on a new Tesla, he doesn't forget about the lessons he learned from the McLaren F1, Jaguar E-Type, or Ford Model T. Every car in his collection tells a story about the evolution of human engineering thinking. From steam engines to electric technologies, innovations. This is a journey through centuries of innovations, each of which added its contribution to the modern understanding of mobility. Every bolt, every nut in his collection is part of the great mosaic of human progress. From steam engines to quantum batteries, this is a story about how dreams become reality, and reality gives birth to new dreams. If you liked this video, subscribe and hit like to see even more incredible collections of the planet's richest people. What do you think about Musk's collection? Which car seemed most interesting to you? Write in the comments.